Well, good afternoon. I'm James Copeland, a producer here at KCTU, and we have a lot of very good shows that come to Wichita through Intrust Bank Arena, through Century 2, but one of the shows that I think is very extraordinary and that I would definitely recommend you seeing is Cirque Du Soleil's presentation of Varekai. And it's, if you've seen a Cirque du Soleil show before, this is going to be different than anything you've seen because Cirque du Soleil changes up the shows they do every so often. And this show is a very good show that they're having. I and some other people from the station and other media were able to go to a media rehearsal for Varekai at Intrust Bank Arena. And it was really neat to see backstage what was going on and what they were doing. We have actually some video clips that I'm going to show you in a second from Varekai. But first, I'm going to tell you a little bit about the show that's going on. It's basically the whole premise of the show is after Icarus in the mythological tale. He falls from the sky, and the story of Varekai begins. Now, you all know the story. Icarus flies too near the sun, and his wings melt, and he supposedly dies. But in this, they take that and say, well, what if Icarus did survive? And so he comes down in the shadows of a magical forest. It's a kaleidoscopic world populated by fantastical creatures. This young man sets off on an adventure, both absurd and extraordinary. On this day, at the edge of time, in the place of all possibilities, begins an inspired incarnation of life rediscovered. The word Varekai actually means, in the Romani language of the Gypsies, the universal wanderers. It means whatever. And so it's a really neat, kind of eclectic mix of different things. And let's go ahead and take a look at some of those highlights that we have from the actual performance, from the rehearsal. They've got a very good set. It kind of looks like you're at the edge of a forest. And what you're seeing on the screen right now is the Russian swing, where they jump up and get catched by two people, get caught. and they have those two Russian swings. And there's also a point in the show where they put both of those together, and they're jumping back and forth between the two Russian swings. And it's a really neat experience to watch. And that is definitely, they say, the most dangerous part of the show that takes the most skill and concentration. In this rehearsal, they were wearing safety harnesses, but in the real thing, obviously, they don't. But that takes a lot of skill and coordination. But this is just one of the many acts that they have during Varekai. And also, we were able to go backstage into the costume shop, and they have to wash, actually, all the costumes after every performance. And they have two full-time seamstresses, and they also hire two from every place they go. So they're constantly having to make repairs and all sorts of things on the different costumes. So that's quite a bit of work to keep the show going. They have, I think, a total of 100 people who travel with the show, and of those 100 people, 50 of those are backstage people who help out with lighting, sound, costumes, stage managing, all those sorts of things. So it's a really big production that's coming to Intrust Bank Arena. And some of the times are going to be tonight at 7:30 is going to be on, and then Saturday at 4 o'clock and 7:30 p.m. and Sunday at 1:30 and 5 o'clock p.m. And that's going to, they've had about three performances already, I believe, and there's still quite a few more performances to go to. I know tickets start at $40 for adults. So that's going to be, and Intrust Bank Arena really does have very good seating. So if you're just going to spend $40, you're still going to get a really good seat. And tickets prices range up in price from there. But it's a really good deal, I think. And if you're wondering, well, do I want to spend the money to go to this show? I would definitely recommend it because this is one of the more unique shows that I think I've ever seen, especially at Intrust Bank Arena. And I would definitely recommend, if you're curious about this, I think it'll be well worth your while. It's a very, it's a really neat show, and they also, it's not just about the acrobatics. They also have a couple clowns that go along. It's kind of like a magician and assistant, and then they change up and do some different things. It's very clever and really entertaining, so I think you'll enjoy that. They also have hand balancing on these little tiny canes. I mean, you'll see people bending over in ways you didn't think were possible, so it's going to be really, really neat. And just watching people fly basically is the closest thing to seeing someone flying that I've ever seen before. So it's very similar to a sort of circus performance, but different in a lot of ways. And the neat thing is that there's a story intertwined between all these acts. So I would definitely recommend going and seeing Cirque Du Soleil. It's going to still be on this weekend, so you still have a chance to go see it. So I definitely recommend that. So thank you for tuning in, and we've got news coming up right after this. I'm James Copeland, and have a wonderful afternoon.